We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Live from the GME studio, it's Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs.
Are you an entrepreneur who has felt like you were all alone on your business adventure? Well, you're in the right place.
You know, being an entrepreneur can be lonely and challenging at times, looking for people to bounce ideas off of and get feedback.
Welcome to Good Morning Entrepreneurs,
the show designed by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs just like you.
Keep watching for your dose of entrepreneurial fun with the roving reporters and, of course, Kim and Kerry.
As we like to say around here, buckle up, Buttercup.
Good morning, entrepreneurs, and welcome. We're so glad you're joining us for show number 52. Grab your coffee and get ready for a fun hour filled with lots of entrepreneurial samples, examples, and experiences. Good morning, Adam, and look who's with us today. It's the freaking fabulous cat.
Yes, you thought you got rid of me, but I'm back.
No way would we want to get rid of you. We do want to send a quick shout out to Carrie because Carrie couldn't be with us today, and we love you, Carrie, and we miss you.
Miss you, Carrie.
Yes, can't wait to have you back.
Yes, but Kat, we are so glad you're here. We're so
Well,
glad
thank
you're
you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So let's head into, we have so much to cover today. I think we should get right into it. So let's head into Entrepreneur Land.
I love the new intro, I have to say. It's very cute. Can't help myself. I want to share with you all really quickly something that I think is just a really great sign for the show this week. I was reading an article this week in the Harvard Business Review. Let me get all my words out. Called Entrepreneurs and the Truth. And it was very interesting to hear all of the different, angles of this. But they suggested that the bottom line of that article was they suggest you surround yourself with people who will help you be your best, which goes along with our theme today of connecting people. And so I'm really excited about just the fact that there are other people out there also wanting to make sure they're surrounding themselves by amazing humans like I get to do on here.
Or like we get to do in the My Sexy Business community.
That's good too, Adam.
And also on Clubhouse.
It's true, Kat.
I just think that, connecting is so important as an entrepreneur. But what I learned is that you want to connect with people, who are on the same level as you, but also there's people that are where you want to be. So they can lift you up and bring you up along with them. So that's why I'm hanging around with these folks right here, in case you were wondering.
Oh, I thought that's why we were hanging around with you.
That's right. That's right. Whichever way we're supposed to point to.
Yeah, I don't know which way. That way.
I love that. So let's go into GME Chronicles. So we have been doing so much in our community. And so, we're going to, take a look back to the week because a lot's been happening and a lot's coming up.
Thank you, Kerry and Kim. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the GME Chronicles. I am Jill Olish, and we have some exciting news to share with you today on March 15th, 2024. The GME Chronicles is a celebration of moving the needle in our businesses, and we want to share these numbers with you to show you what is possible when we can come together. Linda Bonney pushed the button on publishing her newest book, Stories with a Sunday Roast, Collection 3 will be available everywhere soon. Congratulations, Linda. Kerry Zarb received her trademark for the Money Barista. Congratulations to you too, Kerry. 6 new podcast episodes dropped this week. If you haven't listened in yet, go check out The Late Bloomer Living, Mucked Up My Self-Care, Sisters in Service, Buckets and Boomgates, The Money Barista, the 5 and 15 Interview Leadership Series. Don't forget about Bearing It All with Call Me Adam and his upcoming season, as well as Linda Bonnie's upcoming season for Stories with the Sunday Roast. My Sexy Business published a blog this week. If you haven't read it yet, go check it out, along with 35 YouTube clips. And of course, our 51st episode of GME. You can watch the replay on YouTube. A total of 17 events included Cat's Pilates classes, Yvonne's The Age Agitator Club, 6 mastermind sessions with My Sexy Business, along with 2 open houses for Groundwork Brigade and a TNT website workshop, followed by a load of Clubhouse rooms, Monday's room with Pat and Yvonne, Tuesday's LinkedIn room with Donna, Wednesday's Not Creepy room with the My Sexy Business house, hosted by Denise and Adam, and to round off the week, the room with myself and Linda on Thursday. This week's total of 57 brings our grand total to a huge number of 3,888 epic things. We look forward to bringing you more updates next week. And if you are ready to join in on the fun around here, coming up this week is the Money Barista Club. Back to you, Kerry and Kim.
Definitely need to cheers to that week, y'all.
Yes.
I'm so awkward. I didn't get it right. Sorry. I'm actually trying really hard not to show you like my ginger that's all on the inside of my cup. Because every time I'm like, they're gonna think it's a dirty cup.
Oh my God.
It's been such a great week. But Adam, do we have a question of the week?
We do actually have a question of the week. And before we get to the question, can I just speak about my mug real quick? Because it actually is a special mug to me. So this is a mug from Dollywood with my name on it, but I did not get this mug for myself. My former boss and coworker, and she's a friend, of course, she went to Dollywood, and because she knows how much I love Dolly Parton, she bought this for me, and I have kept it all these years, and I have it displayed in my apartment. I never drink from it. It's a display mug, so we don't drink from our display mugs. And every time I look at it, though, I think of her, and I just now, then of course, I think of Donna Bender talking about memorable gifts and things like that. And this was definitely a memorable gift because it makes me think of her, of my coworker, every time that I look at it.
Adam, I have a question. Is anyone else allowed to touch that cup except you?
Oh, sure. I mean, if you want to look at it, but let me just say, don't drop it and don't break it. You can touch it, but you have to be very gentle. And here's an inside joke that I'm not at liberty to explain, but I will just say, don't be like fingers and touch things and break them.
Got it.
So
note taken.
Be careful. Be careful. So now, Kat, there is a question. We do have a question from an entrepreneur this week. So let me get that for us. Here's a question from one of our viewers. I feel alone on this entrepreneurial journey. Where can I find other people on this entrepreneurial path?
It's a great question, y'all. I have to say that out loud because I can remember a time when I didn't know any other business owner or any other entrepreneur, and it was hard. We didn't have anybody to like go to or talk to about anything, so I get it. I think my answer is go where they are. Like, go where the entrepreneurs are that you want to be like or want to be around. I love what Kat said earlier about finding someone that's a little higher than you are so that you can kind of rise up to where they are. So my best thing is get out there and look because they're out there.
I think for me, it's putting yourself in situations where you're going to meet other people because you never know. You might meet them at the supermarket. You just never know. So you have to go places that you're not used to going, and just like Clubhouse, go on LinkedIn Audio, listen in on stuff, and find people that you really relate to in your entrepreneurial journey.
I would agree with both Kim and Kat to get out there and look for that community and see where you find it. And you never know where you're going to find it. I mean, I was very lucky to find this community. I found Kim and Kerry on Clubhouse, and I liked the rooms and the topics that they were talking about. So I kept going back and listening. And then eventually I got more involved in the community, and here I am today. So you just never know where you're going to find your tribe. And I am very grateful that I have found mine.
And we're never letting you go. Let me just say that. Adam keeps us all in line. If only y'all knew how rogue we really are. Adam is the one that keeps us on track. So, Adam, we're very grateful that you are here with us.
Well, you're very welcome. And speaking of keeping us on track, it is time for us to go to our first segment from the salty sister herself, Kat Corchado, on a segment for health and wellness for entrepreneurs.
The friggin' fabulous Kat Corchado, proud US Air Force veteran, health and wellness professional, founder of Small Space Pilates, podcast host, published author, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Kerry. Hi, everybody. We're going to start to do some stretches for the lower body. And one of the stretches that I would want to show you is one that really stretches the lower part of the leg with the calf and the Achilles tendon. This is the part of the body that we tend to ignore, but if your Achilles tendon snaps, you're no longer mobile. I'm just going to say that. So always get your permission from your doctor. Make sure this is appropriate for you and or your physical therapist. So what you're going to do is place both hands on the wall just like this. And I want you to take 1 foot forward, and notice my foot is slightly elevated. It's not here, it's here. All you're going to do is bend the front knee, trying to get it towards the wall. That's a huge stretch right there. And just breathe here. It's a big, big stretch for a small tendon that can cause you a lot of trouble. And now switch to the other side. Always do both sides. Bend the knee. And again, notice which side is tighter. Your knee may not touch the wall, but that's okay. And release. So let me know how that's working for you. And again, back to you, Kim and Kerry.
My goodness. I'm so excited that you're here with us, Kat, today. So I can kind of tell on you kicking my booty all the time. But I am so excited because you're adding another session next week for all of us to be able to come and get our booties kicked an additional time. Let me say that.
Yes, ma'am. We are growing, and it's my passion, and I truly believe that everyone has the right to feel good in their bodies, which is why I love the try before you buy. And I want everyone to come into the SS Yacht Club and try a week free. And so that you can see what our community is like. And the only thing I want to say is there's a no perfection policy allowed. So that's all I'm going to say.
I'm grateful for it, Kat.
And can I just tell you,
Kat,
go
ahead, Adam.
Because in the video you said, tell me how the stretch is working for you. That's actually one of my favorite stretches. And I just want to tell you that it is working well for me. And I definitely can feel when one side is tighter than the other, but I'm very grateful for you for showing that, and I thank you.
Oh, thank you, Adam. That's really important for me to hear that kind of thing, that it's really making an impact. And the Yacht Club is for women right now, and it is we're celebrating women in the month of March. And speaking of one of my favorite people, who is also a woman, it's Yvonne Marchese, and she's my other half of Salty Sisters. And we're going to talk about her segment on entrepreneurship later in life.
Yvonne Marchese, age agitator, podcast host, community builder, branding photographer, published author, event speaker, and GME roving reporter.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. This is Yvonne Marchese coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. I'm your resident age agitator, here to talk about later in life entrepreneurship. And I have a very special guest with me today, Stacy Sherman of Doing CX Right. And for those of you who don't know what CX is, it's the customer experience. She is passionate about helping companies design an experience for customers that has them feeling like they are taken care of the whole way through, from beginning to end. And she has only recently become an entrepreneur later in life. Stacy, I have one question for you today. What is one bit of advice that you would have for somebody who is leaving corporate and taking that leap into entrepreneurship?
Bet on yourself. Take those chances and start with pausing, because you have to figure out what is it you care and love. Then you can bet on yourself and go forward. And opportunities come. You just have to see it and hear it, and then the universe delivers it, because I bet on myself and created the opportunity and just embraced it and said yes to life. So anybody can do that. That's in your control.
Yeah, and I think it's reminding me too that you had some things in place that allowed you to step into that before you left corporate. You had a blog, you had a podcast, so you already had started creating a name for yourself in thought leadership before you ever left corporate. So I want to point out that that's one more thing to think about. You bet on yourself before you ever left corporate.
Yes, before I knew I would need something life after corporate. I did bet on myself years ago before I even knew it. And so I want people to remember, crawl, walk, run your way to success, and start now with what it is that you love, and you can build and evolve over time.
I love it. Thank you so much, Stacy.
Thank you.
That's all for now. Back to you, Kim and Carrie.
Oh my goodness. I love Yvonne Marchese. Let me just say, well, I love the Salty Sisters. I love both of you. But Yvonne has done some amazing things by having a little book, and I wish I had it with me. I own it, but it's not sitting here by me. She has created a little book about aging playfully and living playfully. And I cannot wait to say this out loud. I believe this is the first opportunity we've had to say anything about it. But she created not a workshop, y'all, a play shop that is happening tomorrow. And if you don't know about it, I would suggest you go straight to Yvonne's website and sign up, because it's going to be a lot of fun. You are guaranteed fun when you are hanging out with Yvonne Marchese. Let me just say that. Kat, do you have anything to add to that? Because let me just say, being one of the Salty Sisters over there, you have a lot. You have a lot of influence on that too.
Well, I just understand that Yvonne's been really trying to be more playful. As we get older, we forget how to play, and I love the fact that her workshop cross out play shop. And I want to learn how to play. I want to play. Who doesn't want to play? Even if you're an adult, let's go on the merry-go-round. Let's swing on the swings. Or maybe it's not that, but maybe it's something else.
I have to interject though, because these two salty sisters are roller skating. They're doing all kinds of things together, including a Salty Sisters live stream that happens in is it 3 hours from now? It happens at 11 a.m. Central.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I have that right? So if y'all haven't already followed them, make sure you follow them and go listen to them today. They're going to be live and in charge of of the roller skating fun. But y'all need to see them roller skating. I'm just going to say that. But let's head over to a quick commercial before Adam mutes me, and we'll be back in a minute.
This show is sponsored by Groundwork Brigade Mastermind. Are you an entrepreneur who is focused on making an impact,
but you haven't figured out how to make an income doing it?
We spent years trying to figure out how to do both.
And we realized the business adventure is not a one-size-fits-all. I'm Kim White. I'm the founder and fierce leader of the My Sexy Business team.
And I'm Kerry Zarb, Aussie bucket of swearing sunshine.
And she's a brilliant entrepreneur, by the way.
We both understand how it feels to believe we are the only ones who can't figure things out.
So we decided to join forces so we could get in the trenches with you.
We lead a very special mastermind group so you can be confident in strategically implementing
the right things in the right order so that you too can get the best possible results.
We cover a variety of topics based on what you need,
including building a business that you own and doesn't own you.
We even address things like social media strategy and simple tech solutions.
If you would like to meet other entrepreneurs who are living proof of what is possible,
come and join us at Groundwork Brigade Mastermind Open House.
Oh, wow. I love that commercial. And I love the up levels that you have done to it, Kim. I just want to make sure everybody is aware that the commercials have been up leveled. So keep your eyes out when they play to see what changes have been made. But I do want to remind everybody as well that this show is sponsored by Groundwork Brigade Mastermind Community. And we want to connect you, our incredible viewer, to one of them now with a segment on surprise and delight marketing.
Donna Bender is a certified givologist, branded product specialist, corporate marketing trainer, creator of The Giving Plan, show host, published author, and GME roving reporter.
Kim and Kerry, this is Donna Bender coming to you today as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Today's surprise and delight marketing segment is about the power of a pen. Did you know that according to the promotional products industry's yearly sales survey, pens are the third largest category in a $25 billion industry? Shortly after I moved to Dallas 19 years ago, it was recommended that I should consider the promotional products industry for my next job opportunity. My initial reaction was not a favorable one. Why? Because the image I had conjured up in my mind was of a sleazy salesperson selling every cheap thing on the planet from inside of his trench coat, including cheap leaky pens. And this is one of the reasons I have been so passionate about offering the right branded products and gifts that have a high perceived value and or that I have tested personally or given out myself. So why are pens so popular? 60% of people use a pen 5 to 10 times a day, and 73% of people carry one at all times. When your brand is on a pen, you want to make sure that pen not only looks nice, it has longevity and will leave a positive, lasting impression in brand recall. So when a client tells me they need 1,000 cheap pens, I like to remind them that I do not like to waste anyone's money. And then I ask this: would you rather be remembered for the cheap pen that leaks or breaks, or the pen that everybody wants to steal off your desk? Either way, you will be remembered. Back to you, Kim and Kerry.
I love Donna's segments. And speaking of pens, I'm very picky about pens. First of all, y'all know the ink has to be purple. Y'all know that. But it has to write a certain way. And I love Donna's her show and tell that she does. She dresses up in costume, which is great. But she also has great products. that you can buy and keep for yourself. You can, give them as gifts. I mean, she's just amazing. So if you have not been to her show and tell, her next one is Tuesday, March 26th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you haven't been, you need to go. I go every time because I can't wait to see what costume she's wearing.
Me too.
Can I just mention something about the power of a pen? I have a pen right here that somebody over there told me about and sent to me as a gift because there was a task that I needed to write in pen a lot. And she told me that this pen is her favorite pen. And she sent me a whole package of them. And I have to say, every time I use it, I think of her. And that person is none other than Princess Kim White. So Donna is right. The power of a pen is very powerful. And when the right pen is given as a gift, it can be very memorable. So thank you, Kim, for helping me and my hand not tire out when I do the tasks that I need to write a lot.
You're so sweet, Adam. Don't make me cry on air. Like, you're welcome, but don't make me cry. My mascara will run.
I think we all have a favorite pen. I have a bazillion pens and I go to the same pen every time. So power of a pen, y'all, I'm just saying. But let's go to our next segment called Out of the Vault. And this is, we're reaching back into the GME treasure chest for a segment helping entrepreneurs be found online and what is a search engine.
Thanks, Kim and Kerry. Good morning, everyone. This is Denise Millay coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. And today I'm answering the question, what is a search engine? A search engine is a catalog of public information on the internet organized to help users find what they need when they need it. And a search engine is similar to what a card catalog would have been for a library. I don't know if you've ever experienced the card catalog drawers, but there was a card in there for every book. And on the card, it would have all the information about where to find the book, who wrote it, what's important about it, and you could use that to go locate the book. A search engine is similar in that it's a catalog, but it's a catalog of web pages. So of course, we couldn't have a card catalog for every web page out there like this. It would circle the globe. This is a digital representation called a database of these individual entries for each web page that they read. And there are many, many different kinds of web pages that they read. There are social media platforms, your public profiles, some content, and of course the websites that we all create for business and all those things. But there's also shopping catalogs, e-commerce stores, auction sites, magazines, news stations, newspapers, all sorts of content that we consume online is read by these search engine companies and collected into a catalog so that we can find what we need. They also do it so that they can sell advertising and make revenue for their companies as they present search results. So that's what a search engine is. And I hope you know the reason we talk about all these things is we want you to be findable. Because if they can't find you, they can't do business with you. Back to you, Kim and Kerry.
Oh my gosh, I love Denise Millay, our findability queen. And that reference between what is a search engine and a card catalog lands with me so well because I do remember going through the card catalog and looking for the book that I was searching for. And now I do that online. And Denise has even more tips in her Beautimous book, Be Findable. Let's see if I can get this a little closer for everybody. If they can't find you, they can't do business with you. Let me try to hold it so you can actually see it. And I'm so grateful for the tips that Denise gives throughout the book and of course here on Good Morning Entrepreneurs. And Denise really does. I'm gonna say this when I don't even know what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to be real sly here, and I don't really know that it's working. But what I was going to say is that Denise really leaves a lasting impression with all of the tips she gives about being findable. And somebody else in the community who also can show us how to leave a lasting impression in a conversation is Linda Bonney. So we are going to go to her segment for conversations and storytelling for entrepreneurs.
Linda Bonney is a published author, conversationalist, writer, storyteller, podcast host, production manager, and GME roving reporter.
Good morning, entrepreneurs. Today, I would like to talk about leaving a lasting impression with your conversation. Now, sometimes exiting a conversation can be a little difficult, especially if you've sparked an interest with someone or you have a lot to talk about. Exit phrases might include something like, I can't wait to see you at the next event. I'll email you. Because this then encourages a future touch point. Another future mention may be, it was great talking with you. I'll be sure to mention you to Johnny down the street. Showing appreciation and respect for the other person is another way that is really great way to leave a lasting impression. Maybe you could say, I'm so glad I met with you. This has been a really great conversation. You've really made my day. Another example might be, I'll be sure to send that email your way. It was great talking to you. Think about how you can leave a lasting impression and tie up the conversation with that neat little bow. That's it for now. Back to you in the GME studio.
Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm going to be the one that spills the tea because you all know I'm bad about this. I can't help it. But guess what I have? I have collection 3. We've been talking about that it was coming. It's here, y'all. I just got it. And I have to laugh and I have to tell you, guess who is one of the people in it? I'm so bad at sharing stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. But it's life around a veteran's table with Kat Corchado.
That's awesome.
I love it because I don't even think, Kat, you knew about it.
I didn't know about it.
So this is from Linda's podcast, Stories with the Sunday Roast. And I'm going to use Adam's word as usual. She parlayed those interviews and intertwined stories around all those I'm going to call them subjects. All of the people, she connected people so much in that podcast. Well, she's connected them in here too. And it is such a beautiful, it's a beautiful collection. There's 3 of them and it's amazing. So Linda Bonney, don't be mad that I'm got a big mouth and all that, but I am so excited that I have my copy. So I'm pretty sure I might have been the first one to get one.
Of course you were the first one, Kim. Come on.
Just so everybody's jealous, right, Kat?
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, I'm very excited.
Isn't there somebody else featured in that book?
Adam, we can move along now.
Maybe the person holding the book. You're not the only one with secrets.
Okay, so you couldn't tell in secrets, Adam, and I have to laugh because I've been so excited about Linda getting this book out, and I've been cheering her on, and it's been all exciting. I completely forgot that I was even part of it. And so when I got it, I'm like, wait, I recognize that little girl. I think that looks like me. So, yeah. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed always, I'm just going to say, but I am very excited. So anyway, so speaking of other subjects of the book, there's someone from collection 1 that's coming up next in the virtual cafe. We'll be back in a minute after this quick commercial break to go to the virtual cafe.
Do you find your finances confusing or overwhelming? Well, guess what? You're not alone. I'm Kerry Zarb and I am the Money Barista. It's time to take away those sleepless nights, all the stress and pressure we feel from those flippin' digits. Finances can be hard, and this is why your seat at the virtual cafe is reserved in the Money Barista Club. Our meetups are held on the third Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m. Central Time, and I'm inviting you to join us to ask questions, gain access to resources so that you can get in control of your business finances. This is where coffee meets money. Are you ready? What are you waiting for? It's time for you to be in the driver's seat of your finances. Head over to kerryzarb.com/club to join me in the virtual cafe and start controlling the beans in your business today.
All right, I am strapped in and I am ready to be in control of my business finances. I am so excited for next week's meeting of the Money Barista Club because I'm going to get to work on my business finances there. And the way that Kerry structures the club and the way that Kerry presents all the information, she makes it fun. So if you think this excitement is just a put on, you're wrong. I am truly excited about working on my business finances. And I think we need to actually move into Kerry's specific segment for this week and hear all of the wisdom she has to share. So we are going into the virtual cafe with the Money Barista herself, Kerry Zarb. And here we go.
Kerry Zarb is a rock star podcaster, brilliant entrepreneur, director of Zinc Business Solutions, cover girl, mastermind leader, and GME roving reporter. Let me introduce you to Kerry Zarb, the Money Barista. In her famous words, let's go, it's coffee time. She also says happy biz beans to you because she's a financial guru. She hosts the Money Barista podcast. She has the Money Barista savings tool that she created and has saved over $100,000 for this community. She also is the leader of the Money Barista Club, where she helps everybody get in control of their finances, and she's the author of the Money Barista book, All Things Money and Coffee. She loves beans of all kinds.
Welcome to the Virtual Cafe for this week's segment about business finances. And today, we're going to talk about fear. Do you fear working on your business finances? Do you know why? Are you not feeling comfortable? Maybe you don't understand them. Maybe they don't make any sense. Maybe you're using the wrong tool for them. Maybe none of the stars are aligning for you because everything's a little bit out of whack. So I want you to think about why you fear working on the business finances and start to identify where's the pain point, where's the problem for this to work for you in your business. You guys have heard me talk about scheduling these things on your calendar, making sure that you're having regular touch points, keeping across all the pieces of your business finances. But what about us? What about us as humans? How do we feel about this space and how can we fix it? Sometimes we've had something in our past, a bad experience with finances or money that has really put us off working on this. So what is it for you? I want you to take a moment to identify where's the pain for you. Once you've identified that, and it may be more than one thing, you can start working on fixing that space. That's all today from the Virtual Cafe. Back to you guys in the GME.
Oh my gosh, Kerry Zarb. I have to say that I used to be somebody who was scared of their business finances, which is probably why I could never stick with keeping up with them. But since meeting Kerry, I have embraced working on them, as I said before we went to her video, and I'm so grateful for her. And while Kerry loves the beans and everything, we love Kerry, and I'm going to say I'm going to talk for all of us. So we are so grateful for her and everything that she shows us. And I just need to remind everybody that next week is the Money Barista Club meeting. That is next Wednesday, March 20th at 6 p.m. Central Time. And if you are looking to get in control of your business finances, that is the place to be. So you should connect with Kerry to see how you can become part of the club and stop worrying about your business finances, because Kerry will help you get in control of them.
Kerry's so incredible. And Kerry, we're missing you terrible this morning. I'm just going to say we hate that you're not here with us so we can make you uncomfortable and tell us more. But Kerry, in fine form, I'm going to tell on Adam again because Adam already told on me. So I get to tell on him again. It's my turn. So, Kerry, you're not here to keep us out of trouble. I'll just say that. And Adam, before we started live, Adam sang for you and you weren't there to hear it. So I'm going to put Adam on the spot.
Ooh. Yes. So Kerry's segment was called Do You Fear? Wait, let me get it. Let me get the exact tune here. Do you fear your business finances? So it reminded me of a very famous song. So Kerry, this is for you. Do you fear your business finances?
It was quite entertaining. Can I say that? It was very entertaining. But Kerry, I will say this out loud. You, my friend, are amazing at leading and guiding all of us. And we appreciate you so much. And we don't want your presence not here to not be felt across the globe while we're here together, because you've impacted all of us. And we thank you for that. So love you, Kerry Zarb.
Well, I miss Kerry too, but I have to say I'm having a lot of fun. So no offense, Kerry. I love you too, but I'm having a good time.
That's right. Well, speaking of Cat Corchado and having a good time, guess what our next segment is? It's the Military Minute, sponsored by Sisters in Service podcast. Cat Corchado is the host of that. So over to Military Minute, Adam. What motivated you to start your podcast?
It was during COVID, and I was with the Women Veterans Network and networking with other women online and realizing that they were still having difficulties with transition. So at this point, had been out about 20 years. And I thought, surely they have fixed this problem. They hadn't at all. And so I thought, wow, maybe what if I did a podcast? In the beginning, it was just going to be for women. And I wanted to, talk about those things that happen to them in service. So I thought, well, maybe this could be a really cool platform, a place where they could be safe, that they could talk about all of this stuff. And we don't just talk about the bad stuff. We talk about the good stuff too. I love talking to women who are being bosses in their business, or they're just starting their business and let's highlight you. Let's find out, we can get your name out there. But then I realized that, when you're in the military and you have a family, the whole family's in the military. And I thought, why don't I open this up to not just women, but military spouses, of course, men, military brats, and then veteran service organizations who truly are out there trying to help not only just those still in the military about to transition, but those that have already transitioned and are now veterans.
Kat, it was such an honor to interview you for all these segments. And I want to say thank you again for your service and for your podcast, because finding out what your heart is tender toward in your podcast and then seeing it come to life, and you're up in the bazillion number of episodes, I'll say, I appreciate you and your podcast.
Oh, thank you, Kim. I've met so many wonderful people, but specifically women that are so powerful that are out there doing their thing and helping not just veterans, but other people. And speaking of amazing women, we're going to go right into Jill Olish and Mama Entrepreneurs.
Jill Olish is the founder of Mama Outspoken, executive team leader, postpartum awareness advocate, vision board party host, event coordinator, podcast host, GME associate producer, and roving reporter.
Thanks, Kerry and Kim. I've been talking a little bit about the benefits that I have found from becoming an entrepreneur and working from home. The flexibility and the no unnecessary pressure that I have learned to incorporate into my lifestyle has really benefited me and opened my eyes to see that I am living the life that I want. I've been given permission by others and myself to not feel that pressure that I would have felt in a corporate position. I get the chance to go on the adventures that I want to with my family when I want to. I schedule them in and make it work around other things. I get to spend the time with my son instead of him being cared for by somebody else all the time. And those are my choices because that's the life that I want. And I've built the systems around what I want to support it. I don't know if I could do that in a 9-to-5. I'm sure I could, but this is so much more positive for me, more healthy for my family as well, and gives us the joy from the time that we get to spend together, even if I do have to have work days on weekends. Entrepreneurship may not be for everyone. I didn't think it would be for me, but the joy that I get back from having the life that I want now instead of in 30 years after retirement from corporate world, I am appreciating so much more differently than I did 4 years ago before I started my adventure. Back to you, Kim and Kerry.
Oh my gosh, Jill Olish, that was incredible. Now, Kim, I know you have something to share about, so I'm going to turn it over to you because you are busting at the seams.
I am busting at the seams. And I have to say, Adam, that was a great assist in me telling something. So, y'all, I'm sorry again, but I've been alluding to this for several weeks now, and I'm so excited to say it is here. It is Holly Totten compiled this. It has actually got Jill and Kerry in it. And it is called The Story Behind the Story. Your Purpose is Calling. And let me just tell you, this is a beautiful book. I'm so bad at this, y'all. I need to practice this part. It is such a beautiful book, and it's such a beautiful telling of why they both are doing what they're doing today. So if you want to hear the behind the story of the story, like all the things behind the story. Anyway, I think this is a great book, and I think all of you should have it. But congratulations, not only Holly, but Jill and Kerry. So I'm so excited.
I have so many books to catch up on. And by the way, Adam, you did a great job. But when someone's doing this with a book, you almost you almost feel as though, okay, it's like me, pick me.
pick me. So I might have another pick me moment coming out right now. So y'all just buckle up, because I'm just going to say the famous Adam Rothenberg, the interview king, is up next in his segment called Entrepreneurs in Entertainment.
Adam Rothenberg is a media personality, interview king, clubhouse manager, published author, event coordinator, red carpet correspondent, GME associate producer, and roving reporter.
Thanks, Kerry and Kim. It's Adam, and I am back in the closet for yet another edition of Behind the Curtain. Now, I recently told a behind the curtain story of how I was a fan of ABC soap opera All My Children. And I spoke about how I loved Alicia Minshew on the show. Well, in addition to Alicia, I also adored the series star Susan Lucci, who played Erica Kane. In addition to being a fan of Susan on the show, I also loved Susan's entrepreneurial adventures of selling clothes and accessories on one of the home shopping channels. And you bet I still have my travel cosmetics bag from 2001 that I purchased. Well, you will never guess what happened when I met Susan for the second time in the mid 2000s. And this is the behind the curtain story. She had just released her new perfume and body lotion called Invitation and was doing an appearance at one of the local big box stores. Well, she had also at the time released her new home microdermabrasion tool, which I loved. And when I went to her event at the local big box store, I got to meet her and I got to tell her how much I loved her microdermabrasion tool. And she looked at me and looked me in the eye and said to me, "You have such beautiful skin. You'll want to preserve that." I mean, you could have hit me over the head that the queen of daytime just told me that I had the most beautiful skin. And if that wasn't enough, we then took one of the most amazing pictures ever that is still one of my all-time favorite pictures. So that is today's behind the curtain story. It's back to you in the studio.
I love this, Adam. Do we get to see the picture?
Yes, we most certainly do. Me and Susan, here we are.
Oh, I love it.
One of my, not only did I have this was like my favorite shirt at the time. I made sure I wore my favorite shirt. I had just used her microdermabrasion tool before the signing. She was so nice and so gracious, and she really appreciated the fact that I was using it. And I did buy her perfume and body lotion, and I used to adore it. And I'm so upset that it's not made anymore. But she was just a delight.
That's a great picture, Adam. I'm just going to say, and your skin is lovely, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it is in part to Susan and her microdermabrasion tools. So.
Well, I do have to say that Adam has a lot of his behind the stories on his website, but I'm also going to put him on the spot a little bit because his number one person on his list to interview is Dolly Parton. So Dolly, if you are out there and you happen to come across this segment of GME, please reach out to Adam because you would rock his world, actually, just saying.
Thank you for that, Kat. That is 100% true.
You're so welcome. And with that, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Once upon a time, there was a princess from Oklahoma living a traveling life in Texas.
When along comes an Aussie bucket of swearing sunshine.
When these two girls from opposite ends of the globe met in February 2021,
even the universe did not know what it was in for.
Determined to solve world problems for entrepreneurs, we still to this day learn just how similar we are.
We have found our passions were too strong not to unite and become the partners in change that we are.
What is a bucket and a boom gate?
So a bucket is basically a category or a way to change how you're looking at something big.
And a boom gate is a way to protect ourselves. Sometimes we need a boom gate to protect ourselves from ourselves.
We have lots of experience of our lifetimes of business, and we want to share that with you.
We look forward to bringing you weekly episodes of the Buckets and Boom Gates podcast.
Welcome back. So speaking of the Buckets and Boom Gates podcast and your lifetime of experience that you and Kerry have, Kim, I do want to let everyone know that you are actually in the middle of a new series on the podcast called the Versus series. So it's, for example, this week's episode was oh my God, I just lost everything that I was gonna say. It is what is the difference between a joint venture partner and an investor? That is this week's episode. So the series are a lot of things like that. And what's the difference between an affiliate and a joint venture? So you want to make sure that you tune into the podcast, because when you listen to the podcast, Buckets and Boom Gates, you're going to hear a lot of princess speak. And that is the next segment that we are moving into.
Oh my goodness, Adam, that was rock star. I was like, wow. Sorry. So our Princess Speak is the simple business language we use for entrepreneurs in our community. This is where it comes from. And I will say this week's phrase is the power of an introduction. And I believe to my middle that the power of an introduction can change everything for you. Being introduced by someone changes how people see you. It causes you to have a bit more street cred, which allows you to be viewed as an authority and someone who is worth mentioning. Introducing someone can change how people see them and you. I believe very much in giving that power to our community by introducing them. And I also believe very much in helping them learn how to share that power for others. So when you learn to introduce people and call out the things that are wonderful about them, it creates this environment for them to believe in themselves and grow confidence, and for other people to grow confidence in them too.
That's huge, Kim. You know, I've been introduced a couple of ways. One, if you've ever been to a networking event and someone just gives you their card and says, here, call this person, how likely are you to do that? But when someone introduces you via Zoom, where it's all three of you, or via email, I like the phrase that you said, Kim, which is street cred. It gives you that cred. Like this person says, ooh, this is someone I need to know. So I love that.
Thank you, Kat.
And I love what we do on Clubhouse. I feel like our rooms on Clubhouse is a great example of the power of an introduction. And when Kim and Kerry, when they introduce me on Clubhouse, they typically will introduce me as the interview king. Now, if I was in a room and I said that about myself, to me, it would sound a little pretentious or a little stuck up. But when Kim and Kerry say it, it sounds endearing, as though they truly believe I am one of the best celebrity interviewers out there.
We do believe
because
that.
you are.
Let's be very clear about that. It's because it's true.
So that is why the power of an introduction, they can say things that maybe you don't feel comfortable yourself saying, or you don't like how it sounds, but when someone else says it, it sounds amazing. And it sort of elevates you when somebody is introducing you, and it already makes people look at you differently and feel comfortable about you because you have the testimonial or the words they're using behind you.
I love that you use the word elevate. Let me just say that really quickly. That is a great word because the power of an introduction does elevate you. So connecting people was the theme today, and it's a powerful gift that can be seen by others. Both the introducer and the introducee can be viewed in a more credible way, which makes it even more impactful. Who can you, our sweet entrepreneur watching, give the power of introduction to today?
Join us next Friday at 7 a.m. Central.
This is the team signing off for Good Morning Entrepreneurs.